Bro, you don't even know. You so lucky.
I was like, Pryje, we going. It's time to get out there.
Huh?
Yeah, no longer.
Yeah, we was just up from early. So,
okay.
I mean,
This is my bedtime is 9 o'clock.
Is it?
9
His
o'clock.
bedtime is
it's actually 10:30, but
Thank you for staying up. How's your bedtime? Well, is it?
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah,
It's getting
It's
there.
not your bedtime yet. Let's say something.
Yeah, but
Gotta be snappy.
when it reach, I mean, nuts.
He's talking. He's just like,
Like, I remember playing this once.
you're talking at me? Okay, when you're ready. Hold on.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Jabari Show. Today we have two special guests, two international guests. We have Pryje and we have Jomo. Yeah?
Thank you for coming.
Thank
I
you
wish I
for
could have
having
made it
us,
to the
man.
show. I could have made it to the show after the fact.
Yeah, like after, I
Yeah.
had to drop back. That's something a piece of equipment I had to drop back for him. And he was like, you know, I was free. When shoot finished
Yeah.
early, I could have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know works with work is that they block out days and sometimes they don't put a time. So I
Just
just
the
saw
entire day.
Monday to Friday busy, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like waiting until I have more work. Like they didn't part time for Wednesday, so we ended up doing no work. And it's Wednesday night, I was like, tonight is the show. He just came from the show. Oh, shucks, I couldn't make it. And so
So when I told you I was just
Hopefully
running
they'll come
across
back
the
soon.
yeah, I went by.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
hopefully they'll come back soon so I could see you next
We're
week.
hoping to.
So hope,
Or I
definitely.
could come to.
Or you could come to Barbados. You say you come to Barbados all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was there in January. Yeah.
January.
Yeah, for Kristan's birthday. Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
What a time.
Yes, sir.
Did you say?
Yeah,
Of course.
No, but he seemed confused. I was just
because it feels so long ago. Because like they rented our house and everything, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
we'll be outside.
no.
That was
That's
the
a note.
quietest New Year's I've ever experienced in my life.
Why was it quiet?
Because I think everybody was just like in their own world, and everyone got to the house. It's like, let's sleep on it. Two people went to a party. But I think he was fell asleep on the couch or something.
See.
Were you there?
No, but I know you would go and sleep. Cause that's,
Whoa. Thanks before the
Wait, so y'all
conference, Joe.
rented a place to just sleep?
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
feel like you can do that home, no?
the
Like,
thing is, because the intention was to, like a throwback to 2016, when like, everybody outside. And
Yeah, they had plans. There were plans. Whether or not the plans came to fruition, no.
they
yeah, but
did.
once one man leave the group, it's just kind of break up.
No,
the
two
whole
people
thing.
left the group to go out.
That's what I said, but if
Yeah.
one person gonna leave, then it's
Everything kind of
like,
fell apart. Because I don't feel like I saw everyone all at once.
Nah, it never happened.
It never happened.
It never happened.
And I saw
Because
people
that
in
was
sets.
around like New Year's Day too.
Yeah.
So a lot of different stuff was going on. I
Yeah.
think I had some gigs too. So I was like in and out.
Because I saw you practicing on the
I
patio.
think
and
that's
stuff.
an everyday thing though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can't mess
I
with
think
it.
that was the first time I noticed that you play. And I was like, I just play instruments?
What you know for that?
Kristan friend? That's Kristan friend. I know, we just go on the beach. Probably just be there.
Yeah.
We lying, dominoes that be getting slapped.
That's true.
And I just
That's
be
true.
existing in this space. So then I saw it's the trumpet.
Yeah.
Trumpet you play and you play
Trombone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing Pryje in the morning. I hear, I'm like, that's a trumpet. It's like,
Military.
like, who played the trumpet? But Pryje plays like real smooth, like, it's like, somebody plays some smooth jazz on right? That's like, okay. Walk outside, Pryje playing, I'm like, okay, I guess it's a thing. Now I know.
Yeah.
So is it that y'all got into music from a young age? It's like
For
extracurricular.
me, yeah. Like I first started taking piano lessons when I was 7 years old. That lasted like a year. But like at 7 you're really interested in sitting down to
Right, I catch
practice.
it before that.
Yeah. But I mean, my dad, he would still make me go. I was still playing like, a couple minutes every day. But it was always my love.
Yeah.
I also love running boat outside. It's a lot more. So it's only when I go into secondary school then I joined the school orchestra. At first I was playing clarinet. And then in second form I switched to trumpet. Trombone has always been my favorite instrument.
Yeah, we could trade.
I know, like, I never really got the opportunity to play one, but kind of fell in love with the trumpet, not realizing how difficult of an instrument the trumpet is to master. But I guess that's all part of the process because I love it now. And as I told you, it's an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Like, every day you get up and you do the same monotonous exercises that, you know, you really might not want to do, but after a while you come to realize it's necessary in order to get to where it is that you want to be and to be able to traverse the horn in the way that you want to be able to as well.
So how does one go from clarinet to trumpet? Because I feel like they're both brass, right? No?
So one is woodwind, one is brasswind. So
okay, you gotta explain that to me.
All right. Actually, this is Jomo's area.
Yes, Jomo.
I mean,
what's the differences?
So difference in material as well as wood and brass.
Right. Okay.
But then difference in terms of how you create the sound to the instrument.
Okay.
So a woodwind instrument, a clarinet, saxophone.
Wait, sax is also.
Yeah, it's also considered a woodwind, even though technically it's made out of brass. It's traditionally called a woodwind instrument.
Is it because of the piece that you're making
so
contact? Okay.
the mouthpiece, no, I mean, I think it maybe always was, I guess, depending on technology. Plastic mouthpiece,
Okay.
right? And you attach a reed to the end of it like that.
Okay.
And basically you're blowing through the space between the reed and the mouthpiece.
Okay.
And it vibrates, and that's what creates the sound.
Ah.
So that's woodwind. A brass instrument, no, like what we play is a little tougher because we just got a piece of metal with a hole in it and we blowing it through.
Yeah.
So you're pressing the metal to your face, developing the muscles.
And you have to like place your lips in a particular way.
Yeah, so like a buzz, like a like
right.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's challenging.
Yeah.
That was simple, but yeah.
I could imagine, especially if like you're going for a long time, it's like
yeah. It's actually like I've had some gigs where we play so long that when I get home and I gotta eat some food, I can't even chew. Like the muscles, all the jaw muscles are tired. Yeah, you know.
It's a full body workout.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that what you practice in helps too as well? Like just.
I mean, yeah, the practicing helps because you need to practice to build the endurance to be able to
like the gym. You know, you have to. Yeah.
But like for me, I never had the thing with like eating and not being able to chew. But I've had some gigs, like the trumpet boy gigs, where after playing for such a long time at such like a high volume, I feel like all the muscles in my back just feel so sore because there's a lot of deep breathing you're doing. Yeah, you're using your lungs, but it's all these muscles here that you're utilizing, and it is a full body workout.
Yes.
It's just cool, right? It's just and he's be sitting down like Miles Davis. He's just real cool.
Yeah, that's what I come out in the morning. I see Pryje on the patio, just smooth with it. I was like.
I was like, talk my back early. And you're like,
bro, you were chilling for like 2 hours in the patio. Wow. So going from, I'm assuming they both started as like passions, and then how do you go from, okay, I enjoy this hobby, I want to do this as a profession now? Because you do it full time now.
Both of us.
Yeah, and I know you were working corporate.
I was until
January.
Yeah, and I resigned in February. So music has always been my passion.
Yeah.
But the reason I didn't pursue it was because your parents always want you to get something that is going to provide you with a steady income. They just want that stability for you. Which you can't fault a parent for that.
Yeah.
So I did, I went to university.
What did you study?
I studied tourism management and French.
And French?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was at Mona. What my parents did not know is that while I was at Mona, that's when I started talking to Turo. And he gave me like certain things that I needed to practice. And I was like, yo, like, I can't practice all this and still go to class. So I stopped going to class.
Same.
Yeah.
What were you studying?
I was at UE, KFL. I was doing management with Spanish. Look how we add on the languages for no reason. But yeah.
Well, for a lot of reasons, because it
No, I
came in
know,
handy.
but where you could pinpoint it for me? Like, do we drive by there?
Yeah.
Is that the turn on the?
No. Okay, so you see where Warren's is? When you turn right to go back to Sun?
You know, okay, yeah.
You know, it's not like a
Because you
big
know, Smart
round.
Warrens. I was like,
You see that like
I
a
was like,
McLean?
Kristen, yeah. No other house.
Okay. Like literally, the next turn off,
Yeah.
drive down that hill.
Oh. So near each other, kind of.
No,
No, Mona, which
Mona.
is in Jamaica.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
All right. I'm following.
Right.
Spanish, French.
Yeah, Spanish, French. Don't ask me to speak it.
Right. Stop going to class, which your parents didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't
Until-
know. The thing is, like at that time, because obviously if I'm not going to class, I still need to do my work.
Yeah.
That's when I got like my best grades in university. Like from that semester
When you
all
went
the
to
way.
the
The
class?
moment
And
I
it's
stopped
because I
going
just
to
did
class.
all the work myself.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because you would have these slides for
Yeah,
class.
and I mean, it worked out.
You didn't fail in the classes
Nah,
because
bro.
of lack of
Nah,
attendance. I did.
You did.
Yeah.
It's only the
Like that one hits
tutorials
home,
that you had to turn up
Yeah,
for.
tutorials. Yeah.
Tutorials like an hour a week, dog.
He couldn't stand on.
You know, but you know who changed it for me was Stefan Walker.
Really?
Because they had just started a music minor at Cave Hill.
Okay.
And Stefan saw me walking at UE. He was like, Jomo, where's your trombone? What are you doing? I had like management with Spanish. And he's like, nah, man. We starting a little band, just like a little
Yeah.
university project thing. He said, cool, they coming. And I do that one thing. I was like, nah, boy, you can't go back to class.
It's like,
This is it.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
This is it. And I ain't went back to class after that. I would leave home with my bag on,
Right.
catch the bus, get to school, gone straight over to music.
Right. And your parents never had an issue? Or did you have to like fight tooth and nail?
100%.
Right.
I think throughout. Well, once I got in secondary school,
Yeah.
and I decided, okay, I want to do music. I was doing like things like football, tennis, and then they said, well,
Yeah.
you got too many activities. We can't carry you to these activities, so
Yeah.
you got to pick one.
Right.
So pick music. And then my father was like, well, this ain't working out. Just like, this don't make no sense. You're not gonna
It's
make
like,
a living.
so
And he was right. Like we doing our we fighting hard to make a living,
Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah, this don't make no sense, and my father's an economist, so he was
Right.
like, you do accounts, so I eventually I went to I applied for Berklee College of Music. I
Right.
did that, and that was when my father was like, oh,
You can eat? Okay.
yeah. I mean, I still struggling to eat, but he was like, all right, cool. You're playing with musicians that I had the chance to go on stage with musicians that he had albums of on his thing. So he was like, okay, this is something I can call my friends and tell my friends.
Hey, I have this record.
my
My son is playing with him.
Yeah. I think that's when parents start to see this, when it's like they could relate it to something that they may have grown up with.
Yeah.
And you can just be like, hey, I have no money, but hey, look at this. I work with this guy.
Yeah.
Does that look good? All right, cool.
Yeah. And then for you, where you were doing well in school, graduated.
You mean from Mona?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
He's like, think I was
job,
passing
good
all these
job.
classes for John.
Went to the classes. He could spend a whole week, remember?
Yeah. That's all right.
I did not. I did
Right.
not.
So you went back to Barbados.
Yeah.
We're working.
So I only went back to Barbados because of COVID.
Oh, okay.
Really and truly, my final year, it was in March that like the first COVID case was
2020.
reported.
Yeah.
And when the agents found out that like they were hosting the person at the UE hospital, it was just a mass exodus.
It's like everybody.
Everybody
one
was
time.
like, yeah, because at that point we thought that we were only going to be gone for like a month,
Yeah.
like 2 months.
Yeah.
But little did we know, like, it would turn into
last,
that.
yeah.
So that kind of meant then that I had to pivot from what I had intended to do.
Okay.
Went back to Barbados. My first job was working on a farm because at that point in time, like nothing is going on except the essential workers.
Yeah.
So I tell myself, let me become an essential worker too.
That's cool.
Right? I did that.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, up at Ngozi. After that, then I was a tour guide with Foster and Ince, which is like a tour operator back home. I did 2 different sets of work with them. One was on something called the Bajan bus, which is like an open back bus that does island tours.
Right.
The other was Sunbury Plantation Great House. So I used to do tours of the house there as well. After that, then went to the Turtle Beach Resort, where I was the admin assistant for food and beverage.
Okay.
Meaning just
Man, you got a long CV here. Bro.
very long, bro. I didn't even know things too. Like, and then after that, I went to Sagicor for 2 years, where I was a Sagicor advisor. Yeah.
That's insurance, no?
Yes, it is.
And that was the last thing you did before you went full time?
Yeah. Yep.
So, so, what was the transitional point that you were like, okay, because I feel like it has to have like a crossover point where, all right, I have this steady income, but my passion that I'm making that I can live.
It trying so hard not to get like political and like.
Okay.
I just realized I was really passionate about music, and if I put the effort into music that I was putting into this, then success is inevitable.
Fair.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Fair. Okay, I think that's fair.
What was your point when you were on?
Well, school. When I went to study in the States, that was like, this is it. You know, I also spending so much money to go to school.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, get out of me.
Yeah. I mean, I almost didn't make it, but you know, I was like, nah, all this investment. I love music so
Why
much.
did
I
you
can't.
almost not make it?
Man, life, anxiety, depression, all kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I went to school 2011, and in 2015, right, outside of like, you know, anxiety and depression, got opportunity to work with a group. The college was sending to Italy. We went and did like 10 days in Italy. It was an amazing trip. But I wasn't going to classes as well. I was missing stuff. And one of the teachers told me, he was like, hey, if you leave and go on this trip, you're going to miss 3 weeks of class. And I'm not going to let you pass the class if you miss this trip. And I needed to pass that class.
But the trip was a school trip though. Right?
Yeah, it was a school trip, right?
Okay.
So I here trying to negotiate with this man. I say, man, you know, like, the college is sending us, you know, it's such a great opportunity, you know. I was a scholarship student at the time, so this is like important for me to maintain. He said, no, I ain't letting you pass this class, right?
Yeah.
So I had to make the choice. I was like, man, I may never have this opportunity again. So I took that opportunity, failed the class. Man, I was like, all right, academic suspension. You got to figure your stuff out. You know, I had to take some time off and figure that out, and then I eventually came back and finished. But yeah, I can't not do music. Yeah.
Okay. You traveled earlier this year to Scotland.
Yeah, it was all through the UK.
Okay. That was also for music.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So the reason that I did it about 3 years ago is when I would have met Shabaka. Shabaka is a multi-instrumentalist and producer based in the UK, but his mom is Barbadian.
Okay.
He actually would have gone to school, like secondary school here as well, but just through life, I ended up linking up with him. And we ended up spending time together. We both play flute, so we would just link up in the park and play and talk. And after a while, he started to encourage me to like write my own music. But the thing about it is, for musicians in Barbados, we ain't really paying attention to instrumental music.
Right.
Like, it's just seen as, you know, something else. I don't know really. Thinking about it is a bit disheartening because there's a lot of talent, a lot of persons who are creating excellent work, but I feel like they don't get the recognition for it.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be that we don't have the market for it here in the Caribbean. I don't know. But what I did realize is that over there, there's a market for it. So I decided I would go spend some time in that space, getting to know certain persons, networking, meeting different musicians, just seeing what opportunities would actually be out there.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I took like the chance to spend that time in the UK too, because I find like a lot of times we look at the UK as just this monolith that, okay, that's what it is, and you can fit into this particular lane, and
You just do that thing.
but what I did come to realize is that there's so many different artists doing a plethora of different things, but there are always persons who are there and willing to consume it.
Yeah.
What was mind blowing for me was going into a club, my first ever gig over there, and watching people, I mean, like dancing all out, like flips, some of everything, bro.
Yeah.
To me, playing my trumpet, like just a little
It's
toot toot,
like,
and people are going wild, bro. But
it's like, wow, I did one note. This guy is doing a back to the table. Okay, all right, let's keep going.
so, like during that time too, Shabako had taken me just to meet certain people, watch certain events, just so that I get to know what like the standard is.
Right.
And being in that space made me realize that like I can actually do this.
Yeah.
I guess too, my idea of success is not solely financial.
Right.
This is not to say that I have any intention of not doing well
Right.
financially. But what it showed me is that I don't have to compromise my passion in order to do that. Working through like all these other jobs, you can ask any of my workmates all day, my earphones are in my head and I'm listening to some type of music.
Right.
Like, walking up and down like the properties, like that's what you can find me doing, just bopping, like always got music in my head.
Yeah.
To me, it just came a point where it didn't really make any sense to clearly be so infatuated with something and going against my gut in order to, you know, satisfy needs.
Yeah.
Like I felt like, you know, it's the time to take the chance. Because I've wanted to do it for quite a while, but I didn't have the confidence in my abilities.
Yeah.
And
You sleeping on yourself.
Yeah. I have been sleeping on myself. Chris Standards tell me all the time, I need to stop being humble.
Yeah.
Like, stop being humble.
Yeah.
And I get where he's coming from, but I still got a lot more work to do too. So
That's fair.
A lot more work to do.
So, how do the Jomo and Pryje relationship begin?
Well, you can remember when you first met him?
No, I don't think so. Oh yeah. I think this is 1688, right?
No, bro.
All right, never mind.
Before 16,
Tell the story, okay.
so I think it was around the same time that you might have been on your academic suspension.
All right, cool.
Because
2015, around that time.
Yes, correct.
Uh-huh.
Because Kevin Moore was teaching at Harrison College.
Uh-huh.
So he was like, yo, I got Bridget at Berklee, he was doing all this stuff with the Funkateurs.
And they came down to
to do like a master class. And that was the first time that I met
I did a master class.
like
No,
was there with
I just
Clarence,
came.
bro,
I just
and,
came.
like, it was a master class called like, at the end of it, the horns were so sweet.
Okay.
So that was me, Silvo, Nicholas Stevenson,
Uh-huh.
and Shane Aline, that dances.
Right, he was playing
Yeah,
saxophone.
correct.
Okay.
So that was the first thing that I knew about Jomo. I was checking all that Alicia and the Funkateurs stuff strong too. Then you also did like an afrobeat, Afro when or something like that. So from since then is when I've known about Jomo.
Everything is talking like news to him, man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna tell you all this.
I'm
but
It's like master class.
Wait.
What's a master class?
You left my house?
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's just because we have similar interests in terms of not just the type of music we listen to, but the type of music that we like to play.
Yeah.
And the purpose of like that music too. Part of the reason why we came here to Trinidad is to get closer to the source of what we know as Caribbean music.
Yeah.
Calypso is one of, I heard David Rudder call it one of the mother musics, just like jazz. And when you study calypso, calypso, whatever you call it, and where it comes from in terms of the traditional practices, then you kind of understand more like why something sounds the way it sounds and why it makes a person feel the way that they feel. So if at this particular juncture in my life, I feel like it's very important to be able to understand that and to be able to translate it through what it is that we play. I guess you could kind of add to it.
You being real articulate, bro.
For real?
You could keep going.
The reason they do that, dog, is 'cause I ain't got them more to say.
Oh, but music with purpose, for sure. We exist in a space in Barbados right now where the tourism industry pretty much dictates entertainment, what is should or shouldn't happen. So, you have young musicians who are coming up who see the older musicians just playing a specific set of repertoire. They may know other stuff, which they do, but they're only seeing them play this specific repertoire for whether it's British tourists, American tourists, whatever. And the spaces that we have to just jam or, have a gig and know that locals are going to come and enjoy themselves and feel comfortable, those are extremely limited. So we want to make that music, but the economics doesn't always support that because they just, spaces are there for tourists, So coming here is a way for us to say, hey, we want to find spaces that are allowing us to do, like Carl at Calypso Blues is very much about encouraging that. There's Sage Bar in Barbados, which is also very much about encouraging that. Let's come to Trinidad, learn some more about the culture, because we went to, what was the name of the studio?
Cora.
Right, we went to Cora. I don't know what the name of the studio was.
It wasn't a studio in Cora, but with
With
Modupe and Baba.
Some drummers, just trying to learn about the rhythms, understand, because in Barbados, we have some guys, but some of those guys that we know well are listening to the guys here.
Correct.
So just getting the source, understanding that these rhythms are what developed calypso. These are invocational, what was the word used?
That's exactly
Invocational. Goes back to the African spiritual practices. And that's what we have. We have calypsonians making music in Barbados that don't know any of that. So what are we making? What are we trying to say? If it's a sad song, why aren't we using rhythms that, speak to that? So that's kind of where my head is at. That's the conversation that we're having.
So besides the show, right, that y'all held here, it was more of like a form of research to build upon the music that y'all are going to create.
Yeah, we're in the exploration phase.
So we came up with the idea to first to be like, hey, we actually fly. Because there's always the idea, but who pushed the idea to actually book the tickets?
Well, I think it's a bit of both, because I was already overseas. And then I had gotten called to Jamaica for a gig. And then I was like, yo, if I could get some men to come down here, that would be sweet. But again, that's the idea. The economics don't necessarily support that and the timing. So it was like, all right, I get to Jamaica, doing all these different things. And then you have reached out to me, or I have reached out to you. I can't remember how it happened exactly.
I can't remember who reached out to
but
first.
I just remember it became another idea. And I was like, yeah, could do it. But again, I had to make the money to make it happen. So I decided then just to hold a private showcase, and we got back home to show the persons who have been supporting me for all this time, what it is that I've been working on, and still be able to, come here and it worked out.
Well, I mean, Trinidad specifically worked out as well because I have, the band that played, I've worked with them before. So I think out of all the options, it would have been either go to Jamaica or Trinidad really to make the music, because those are the spaces where we know people the most.
You were talking about people in Barbados. They play a specific, they play the same thing for Americans, British people. And you're trying to create this space for local. What is the difference in the sound
Well,
that would be suited to locals and then now like tourists or tourism people?
you know, if I'm going to a restaurant to play for British tourists, Sweet Caroline, you know that song?
Yeah.
Right? Sweet Caroline. No, it has
So
nothing
it's the
to do with
songs
us.
themselves.
Is the music, the repertoire itself.
Okay.
Yeah. We do play, you know, some reggae, some stuff for the tourists, but it's really for them to enjoy the tropical atmosphere. It's so wonderful. It's like sandy beaches. But we in Barbados aren't, I don't know, I can't articulate myself, but right, you know, like the most we have that makes me feel like I'm in Barbados and I'm experiencing music that makes us feel comfortable is going to see a band called Right Side of Red, and they play reggae, right? And everyone comes out, tourists, locals, but it feels like a space where the culture is happening, you know? And that's it.
Does it not feel like we kind of, I guess, cheating the tourists now? Because like they're in your space, you cannot do whatever you want, right? But your kids are into them.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
thinking
like almost
about
like we had to like water down to
I'm thinking
cater.
about that the streamer Junior Lee on Speed. Right. He was like, I just remember one of the clips. He said, I can't understand you. He's like, you wanna like
Yeah, I catch up.
yeah. So he wanted Junior Lee to like talk more American.
He was saying that he's
And then
speaking.
Junior Lee was like, I don't wanna cater to you, you wanna cater to me, you in my country.
Yeah, I remember that. He was like, y'all talk too fast. I was like, hey, yeah, I catch up.
Yeah.
Well, I think it'd be interesting to watch the Bajan version of that because it will show how so many of the Bajans were making an effort to speak clearly. You know, and say, all right, I want Speed to understand me. There's only maybe a few Bajans that were talking Bajan, you know? But that's a part of our culture. It's a very tourist-oriented space.
Yeah.
Like, you get things like, oh, you know, Bajans are such a nice people. And all people are nice people.
Yeah.
But Bajans are such a nice people is this kind of mentality that once you are, you know, a tourist coming in a space, I as a Bajan are going to be extra kind to you. I want to welcome you because your happiness is my dollar.
Yeah.
You know? So that's kind of the space that we're in. So if I go to an entertainment space or restaurant or hotel to play, that entertainment manager in that space is like, hey, I need you to do everything to make these tourists happy, right? And if you play something that is too, if I play I Shot the Sheriff, that's going to make some tourists uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? But that's a problem for me as a person who is Black and sort of representing my culture. So where do I find the balance? And because we don't have enough spaces where we can play that music for ourselves, we feel like the culture is suffering. There's so many amazing musicians in Barbados. So many. And that's all they're doing. They're just playing the Sweet Caroline repertoire, you know, Beatles, you know, that's all they're playing. They're not really writing original music. They're not, you know, and Trinidad has that. Y'all be making stuff, you know? I mean, this industry I know has its own challenges. But, you know, carry calm. We got integration. We can work with each other and figure out these, you know?
Collaborate. When you speak about writing music, actually we started speaking about this before we actually started. Both of you write your own original music. You said that you are constantly hearing, or your mind is constantly thinking about the music. How does it work for you as it pertains to creating a song?
Well, it all depends on like the situation.
Okay. Because you mentioned the type of music that's native to Barbados during the concert. I don't remember
Spouge.
Spouge.
Yeah.
Before you go into like how you create it, what is Spouge?
What is?
Because you said that your song, I think that you performed.
I didn't do the Spouge-ish song.
No.
I think we did yours.
My piece had in Spouge.
Okay. Your one had.
But his was inspired by the project that we were working on together.
So maybe that really is the genesis of this, because
definitely
first set of songs that I created was for something called the Jackie Opel Project.
Right, I remember that
it was done by the National Cultural Foundation, back in Barbados.
Okay.
Jackie Opel is the originator of this musical form that we call Spouge.
Okay.
Spouge.
Jackie and the Troubadours. Don't
And the
forget
Troubadours.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't know about the Troubadours part. Why I said Jackie is because Jackie Opel was a Barbadian, born in Barbados. But he left and he went to Jamaica and was instrumental like on the ska scene. So he would have been performing ska, like ska music.
Okay.
You've heard of it?
No.
Really?
No?
I don't. I've probably heard of it.
All
Can't relate it
Let me fix that quickly.
You know when you gotta think of a song on the spot is
Yeah, I
your
just
brain
always
go
pull
blank.
blank. YouTube never fails, bro. Ska.
No. That's a ska?
Nah,
No.
bro.
All right, I can stop talking.
You man gave me Alberosi, bro. All right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my boy lollipop.
Right, man.
If you don't know that song, but that's a classic ska song.
What?
I don't know the words.
No, I was asking for more words than
You
My
make
boy
my heart
Lollipop.
go giddy up.
You make my heart go giddy up.
You're sweet
Okay.
as candy. You're my sugar dandy.
got it.
Okay. Yes, I've heard of it. Just didn't know that's what it's called. But
Yeah.
thank you for
So
that.
around the same time, I guess when Jackie came back is when he would have had the whole Spouge concept.
Yeah, so but he was like one of the biggest ska singers in Jamaica.
Okay.
So up to the point where Jamaicans thought he was Jamaican.
Okay.
Like, he was just,
Actually, to this
Wow.
day.
yeah. But through working with all these different Jamaican groups and bands, he was like, hey, just like how we feel about Trinidad and other ways, like we can sense a very strong identity through the music, through the culture. And he basically took pieces of that Jamaican music, took some of those rhythms that felt, I guess, more home to him. And he brought that back to Barbados.
Right.
He worked with this band called the Troubadours, and they were kind of the people that kind of put everything together. So what does the guitar do? What does the drums do? You know, all of that. And that's how Spouge came to be.
Okay. Right. You write in music.
Right. So there's no like one particular way that I do it.
Okay.
Sometimes I might just be walking around the house and then like something will come into my mind. Like yesterday, I was walking around and like this idea just come to me, so I went to my phone. But then you had started talking about something, so I kept humming it in my head, like while it was coming to you, and then while you were talking, it was like humming it into the phone. So I have the idea there. Then I can go back on it, go back to it, sorry, and create something. Other times is a case where like I might have an artist that has an idea or a song, and it's like they don't know what to do with it. So art will sit down and just work through it. Like, I can't really say I have a particular process. It just really depends.
I think that's kind of the process for most of us, in a way. Either we have the immediate tools that we can put it down, but we are like, I have about hundreds of 10-second voice notes on my phone, which is just like simple ideas, and I listen back and this is garbage. What was it? But they're all there. Like the music keeps happening.
Yeah. Because in the photography, videography space, it would start with like creating like a mood board. Okay, I want this to look like this, these colors, these poses, or these clips. And then I build my story. What does that look like for a musician besides, humming it? It's like, okay, I want my drums to do this thing. I want my bass to do this thing.
Yeah, kind of, Well, for me, chords are important. So, and I call those like the colors. So, we would talk about chords either being happy or sad or those kinds of things. So that kind of determines, okay, do I want this song to have like a melancholic feel? If I want that, I know there's certain chords that I have to put together, certain progressions that make that happen.
Okay.
And then the other instruments are like textures,
Okay.
Like, when you think about the drums, you might think, noise crashes, but it can also be very gentle. It can be, and then the grooves. We know what a reggae groove sound like, right? We know what calypso groove sound like, but there are all these little variations in between.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just
Okay.
We have all those little, like how you have those bits of knowledge about what your equipment can do and all, that's what we use to.
Okay. Because, well, how does because you didn't go to school for music, how does your working together, your academia and, well, I don't know what, I don't know how to describe it as. How does that work together? Because it's like, for you, it could be a vibe. But then you could be like, okay, musically, here's how we're gonna put this thing. How do those?
I feel like he should answer that
The
question.
thing is, despite not going to school, you still have to study.
Yeah.
Like harmony, the history of music.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, you just sound like you playing a bunch of notes.
Yeah.
Which I have sounded like for quite some while, but because I don't want to sound like that, like I need to find people who can mentor me to show me like what I need to do to get to the next level.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for like the people that I have in my circle too, because I feel like no matter what questions I have, like I can always reach out to somebody, and they may not have the exact answer, but they can point me in the direction that I'll be able to find out the answer for myself.
Right.
I hope that my not going to school and being formally educated doesn't hold back my peers.
No.
But it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all are able to complement each other.
I mean, school helps provide structure,
Right.
So like there are like systems that they say, okay, well, if you do this, this is the expected result, all these templates. And industry-wise now, a school like Berklee will say, hey, well, these are what the guys that are getting Grammys are doing, and we're going to analyze this music and be very specific. And you might not get a Grammy, but you can learn how to make music like this.
Okay.
So I have that structure. But then also the challenge with the school and the structure is that sometimes you lose the spirit.
Yeah, so I was about to ask that after that is like, sure, we've analyzed these people that make Grammys. How does that now take away the soul? But you could get to that after because then you have a whole bunch of music that just sound the same.
Yeah, exactly. And there is a lot of that all the time, right? We hear that all the time. So for me, I had to take a lot of time once school was finished. And, with all music schools, that's the challenge of, okay, I want to make music that I feel good about, that makes me feel good. So I have to kind of get rid of all that theory and information. But he doesn't have that challenge because he's already in the feel good phase. So in a way, we are kind of complementing each other right now.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
I don't know, I have something to say. It was so profound in my head. And it was I think this is from my basic knowledge of going to school and not finishing.
He also he went to school
I went to school for film. I understand what you're saying with the structure. Like it's good, it's great, and it's nice to analyze things. But I think sometimes not knowing like the foundation or not the basics or the history of certain things, you're able to now test and do certain things where it's like, okay, what if I do it like this? But then coming from a school brain, sometimes like, well, that's not how it is normally do it. And then you as the creative person, like you as the next being this person, not having like this education here now is like,
why
something
not?
good in my head.
Yeah,
so like why
not?
not try it? So it's like it's a weird balance of just
it's almost like here's the book.
Yeah.
And then once you leave school, take this entire book, throw it away.
Yes, true. Throw it away.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say, well, like I work in the soca space in Barbados.
Okay.
And so that education has helped me be able to say, hey, these guys want me to write horns for their soca songs.
Okay.
I can do that, like structure-wise. I can just say boom, 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 done, But I don't mean I enjoy what I wrote. It just means that I could do it,
Yeah.
So I struggle with that all the time. Like, how do I break all this down to just being enjoyable, feel-good music? That's,
Yeah.
I probably will struggle with that forever.
I think it takes people
Yeah.
like him that just like I didn't really know it any other way. Like let's try it and see.
Yeah.
You know, because you have all this extra knowledge now, you're gonna overthink it and be like,
Yeah.
this is not really wild.
Yeah, he'd be overthinking there. All you think to you.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be telling you more often than not to stop thinking about it
He
and just
does
do it.
Yeah.
So we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out.
Yep.
That's good. So now that you all have gained this experience, I know some people don't like to talk about like their future plans, but from studying Trinidad's music space, or at least a portion of the music space in Trinidad, when you go back to Barbados, what is then the idea from this knowledge base that you've gained?
I feel we may have to portion it out.
Yeah.
So, our trip to Cora, right? You know, we spent time with the drummers there. A lot of things I had no idea about, you know, or didn't have the right words to quite understand. So, you know, them talking about, you know, how our calypso comes from invocational music and what that means, you know, and the relationship of Santi Manite and Extempo and all those things.
Yeah.
I didn't quite have that put together.
Right.
So I think that portion of it for us now is okay. We have keywords that we can do research.
Yeah.
You know,
and delve deeper into.
And delve deeper. Even the repertoire, like the repertoire we chose for our show, was very much in the space of playing the music just to see how it feels, playing it.
Yeah.
But saying, okay, well, I want to play more old traditional calypso music, you know, and I want to see where that fits with the same invocational music, like where that lies. Then old Bajan calypso music, where does that lie, you know, because the relationships would have been there back then, but the communication is somewhat lost generationally, you know, like I'm not going to an older musician and he's not telling me about the invocational stuff, you know, I've never heard that before. So that's kind of that one portion. The other portion is we want to come back and do like a full big show. But that's like after the research. We do the research, we figure out, okay, these are the things we really have spent time figuring out. You know, the old Trini Calypso, the old Bajan Calypso, Spouge, which is kind of like a genre, an old genre in Barbados that's not
Evolved.
that died basically.
Yeah.
And we are in the space of reviving it. So what does it sound like in the modern context, right? Because we only have old recordings, right? So what does it sound in the modern context? And then West African music, which of course is the source, you know, and how does all of this connect? You know, like we'd like to be able to do a show where we play music from all parts of the Caribbean, you know, and it feel like one thing, you know. So if I play a compa tune, if I play merengue, if I play spouge, if I play calypso, and then I play high life afrobeat, like it should all feel like one space because we all coming from that's kind of
your portion.
Oh, you mean what we're going to go back? So, as I would mentioned earlier, I set out on this journey to create a body of work, original music. Initially, I was planning to make it just solely instrumental, but I don't think that is quite a good representation of what it is that I've been doing. Because yes, now I've taken this step to step out as a soloist, but I've been doing a lot more work as an arranger for all that time. So step one for me is to finish this album. And I have 6 instrumental tracks so far, but I want to include a lot of the artists that I've been working with over the years as well. But there's just a lot of talk. Like,
It's like, I
you need to do it.
come here
You need to
and
do it. Like,
record
I just
this.
need to do it. There's no excuse. I gave myself until August to be finished. So after August then is when we'll be able to decide when I could have the listening party that I mentioned to the people at my showcase. So I guess that was my little way of keeping myself
It's like,
accountable.
to all these people. So I guess I have to
got to do it. Got to do it because it's so easy to get like sidetracked.
Yeah.
Because you gotta make a living, and the way to do that is to go and play, like go entertain people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what we are, entertainers.
Yeah.
So I just need to make sure that I stay the course that I've set for myself.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm not gonna lie, I have to have the instrumental from Wednesday night. I'm not gonna lie. I will be listening to it.
That's the problem, bro. That's no
we
problem.
ain't listening yet.
Serious?
Nope.
I mean, I haven't listened to it either.
Okay, cool.
Because I was on the road, so I wasn't able to download it. But I mean, it was. I don't usually listen to that kind of music. I would listen to like orchestral stuff, or even something that I've gotten into. Well, I mean, it's been a while, but I mean, even Jabari sometimes listen to it as Trap Symphony.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what Trump Symphony is?
I think I've seen a couple videos.
It's Sound Cloud?
No, it's not. It's not. I don't think it's Sound.
Is it SoundCloud? There's the orange, like
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, the orange.
orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
SoundCloud, they put together like an orchestra,
Yeah.
and what would be traditional like trap music, like think of like 21 Savage.
Yeah.
But
No, it's
the
Audio
beats-
Mac.
That's very interesting.
Audio Mac. That's what it
It's
was.
audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
So like Trippy Red,
Yeah.
right?
But with
that,
symphony.
but with an orchestra.
Sure.
That's interesting. Cool.
And I am just like,
Yeah.
I can't hear the music regularly now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, even taking like modern music and then putting a band behind it, I've listened to more of that in recent time than like Spouge or even like jazz or anything of that nature. And my grandfather was like big into like every afternoon from like about 1. He has his, I think it was like 12-inch. He had like two 12-inch
Vinyl?
speakers.
Yeah, okay.
With the whole tweeters and everything. They're probably like 6 feet tall. And, like the whole setup, and then he has his deck, and then he also has his what do you call it? The
record player?
The record player. Yeah, he has his record player that he has. He takes all his records out of the vinyl, and he's blasting music for the entire. Like, I know my grandfather's home like from 2 corners away, because I could hear his jazz playing.
I love it.
And anything, if it have any lyrics in it, it's garbage. It's basically garbage to, unless it's like maybe like reggae.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
he would mash anything else if it have lyrics in it. So that was my introduction to jazz. It was like, it was forced upon me. I was like, I don't want to listen to this, because you just, it feels as though you're just annoying me at this point. Because why does this music have to be so loud?
Fair.
But then in certain spaces, I'll listen to like Janelle Monáe when she has her band playing. I'm like, oh, this is smooth. I like this. Yeah. So, and then hearing you all play, I'm like, maybe I want to explore this area of music, because I have not actually spent any time significantly in this space. Hence why asking you to come on to speak about the space, your experience in the space and whatnot. So from here, you'll go back to Barbados. You'll have gigs lined up between the two of you, or you'll have like your own separate, you'll kind of go apart and then come back.
Well, again, you gotta eat some food, yeah? So, we both got different stuff going on, but this, well, for me, is a priority.
Yeah.
So, like, even after we had our discussion today, because these questions that you were asking, we actually asked ourselves.
Right.
Like, just looking back on the entire experience and how best we could move forward.
Yeah.
I think, because when I did the showcase, I was told, like, this is not enough time to do, like, all this is going to be a big undertaking.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to do it. Went ahead, did it. It went well, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
And I think that the next time that we do do something, we should take the time to make the most out of it, because at that point it won't just be a showcase. It'll be like, this is it for real.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, you want to come up with a bang.
Yeah.
Like, it's simple as that. Quality or nothing. So for me, I have my own personal practice and personal goals that I want to achieve on my horn. There are other musicians that I work with that we have plans to do certain stuff too. But when we talk about passion, it's something that I can give myself to like 100% is something.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, similarly, I can't say I'm as passionate
He's not.
about this specific thing. But I'm actually quite passionate. I would say my space is now figuring out where this fits priority wise. I've spent all the time while he was working other jobs building my career musically. So I have some other projects that I work in.
Yeah.
So basically what we've been discussing now is, okay, well, what would be the most reasonable next step in terms of also, you know, first doing some research, you know, doing some writing. We have a producer that we're going to work with right away pretty much to finish the songs that we've written, you know, and record them for, you know, release. And then we've been talking about setting up a gig that we will do later on. I think after the crop over season. The crop over season now for us, nobody wants to hear anything else. Right? So after the crop over season, we will, you know, have that gig start to build some awareness for what we're doing, because we haven't done anything publicly besides this Trinidad show. Build some awareness for that space. And and then, you know, as that goes along, the plan will build and we will figure out.
I don't know. I feel like this is lining up perfectly with everything it is that I want to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually really grateful to have Jomo next to me for it too, because he stopped me from freaking out a lot of times.
In what way? If you could speak about it.
No, I can't.
You can't speak about
I can't. I'm so sorry. I
That's
really
fine.
can't. But I mean, it's very necessary to have like a mentor who is going to tell you the things that you might not necessarily want to hear, but you need to hear.
There are a lot of traps. There are a lot of pitfalls that we face. You know, mentorship is hard to find.
Yeah.
So even like a lot of things that we talk about, where I'm like, Pryje, be careful, you know, it's because maybe that was a mistake that I made, you know? So, yeah.
I can't say anymore.
No, that is totally fair. That's totally fair. Nice. Good.
How do you tweak this show? Because you said certain things could be better. I guess, what are some of the things that you might have done differently? It's up to you to touch on it. It's not like
I think more time needed to be spent just going through the logistics of the event to ensure that everything would have run smoothly.
Right.
I think the reason that didn't happen is because I pushed for it to happen so quickly. That's all it really is. I just think better planning and a more professional approach, because I knew that the persons who were going to be coming, like, I made it invite only, so I could control who was going to be there.
Right.
So, I mean, moving forward, yes, you want to keep a certain air of exclusivity, but not to that degree. And I guess because I knew I would know the persons who were coming there, I was just like, everything will be cool. Not taking into consideration that my team who was planning everything, they're the ones going through like all the stress of like dealing with the logistics and stuff. Yeah, I hear dealing with the music, but they're making all the phone calls and all that stuff to make sure that this happens, and they did an excellent job. But what I didn't consider is the blowback on them for not doing the best job that they could, because I mean the only reason that that happened is because they didn't give them enough time.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say like I regret it because I achieved the purpose. What I do regret is not consulting them more, like before saying, hey, this is what it is that I would like to do, please help. Because I mean, that's all they had to do and they helped. But they did tell me like, this is a very short amount of time to do this.
Yeah.
So that's all it is, just me taking advice and not being hard-headed.
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta jump and you learn your lesson, you know?
True. Yeah.
So I dabble in music. I do sound engineering at church.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the guy behind the board, and one of the guys in church, he does calypso. Like he would have done like junior calypso and different stuff like that, and he would have wants to put on a Christmas show. And he's like, I need a sound engineer. Gosh, Jabari. I have never done sound engineering outside of church.
Yeah.
He's like, Jabari, you think you can help me? I'm like, yeah. And we have a guy that externally does come and train us so that to make sure that we actually know what we're doing. So I contacted him. I'm like, hey, this brother wants to put on a show. And as you said, having that mentor to be like, you ask this question, you ask that question. I was just say like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, how big the stage is?
You don't know. Yeah.
The room wide. It's so bad. He's like, I don't know. A big stage?
Yeah.
Then he comes and like, there's not a big stage. And I was like, oh, I feel like this stage was real big, but all right. Then he's like, do we have pass-through? Do we have outputs for the XLRs, for the monitor on the stage? Or is it that we had to run? I'm like...
Didn't ask any of that stuff.
He's like, how much XLRs do you have? I was like, I don't know how many XLRs. Okay, how long they are? I was like, I think we have 430 foot, and 50 foot, and some 15 foot. He's like, how much auxiliary equipment do you need? It's like, I never thought about any of these things at all.
Yep.
And then when you start getting into stuff like how are you miking your drums and how are you miking your bass and all these other things, as you said.
Again, like,
Yeah.
I don't know about the last stuff. If not for Jomo and 40, like,
Big up 40.
Big up 40 for real.
Yeah.
Because, like, that, you know more about sound engineering than me. Like, when I went down there and I heard the idea that, like, yo, we can use this space to do X and Y and Z, I was like, yo, this is so nice.
Yeah.
And then I called Jomo, I was like, yo, Jomo, like, we could do this. And he was like, ooh. Slow down.
Yeah, because he like one of the questions that I yes, you know that you have to think about it, but you don't really think about it. It's how many channels do you need? I was just say like,
Right, one for church is just
it's just like 16 channels. I was like, I know I have 16 channels. Like, ready to go.
people singing by the ear.
Yeah.
Two instruments.
Yeah, it's like we have a 16 channel board, and he's like, okay, let's stop. Let's just take it back. Let's go through each thing one by one. How many vocalists you have? 3 vocalists, 3 channels, gone. How many guitars you have? 2. Well, that's 2 channels, gone. That's 5. Drums, how many channels you need for your drums? I was like, I don't know how much. 3. He's like, nah, 8. I was like, how does a drum need 8 channels? I was like, so then he's like, you have your snare, you have your kick. Yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, how much is that? I was like, 14. I was like, all right, keep going. Keys, how many do you need? I was like, I don't know, 1? No, you need about 4 channels. I was like, jeez, I need just. I was like, okay, so we need like a 32 channel board. It's like, yeah, 1? I was like,
Nope.
Nah. I was like, nah. He's like, don't worry, I'll go organize it. I was like, yeah. No, I just say yes. I thought
I think you need to do that too. Like that experience makes you focus so much harder on making sure that you get it right, you know?
Yeah. And then as the lead engineer for a show, I wasn't even behind the board. I'm just coordinating. All right, my man on the board. I don't even know how to think about. I don't know how to think about it because he sorted out. But then, you know, it's coordinating with like, okay, is my bass guitarist playing for this song? If he's not playing, where does he need to be in preparation? Because each song is kind of flowing into the next.
Okay. They're moving on and off stage. And,
I'm kind of just coordinating, I just say logistics. I didn't touch.
So you're like a sound director then.
Yeah. I turned into a sound director more than an actual engineer. I didn't touch a slider on the board yet. But, you know, I'm still listening. Okay. I think I hear a feed from the guitar still going. It may be causing feedback. I'm still like doing I get where you're coming from. Where it's like you're not thinking of all these other things in the background
And show up and things are going good, man.
It gonna work out. It gonna work out.
Exactly. Yeah. So how do you, as an inspirer, go from how do you go to saying no to things? Is it that you're relying on a mentor to say no to things, or is it that you're learning to say no to things? Because you can have it this big, but
it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
A bit of both, because life got a way of teaching you some lessons that you don't forget.
Yeah.
Right? So there's that. But I tend to ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
And I think that is good and bad because it can lead to overthinking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you ask questions, especially the persons who would have already been through what it is you're going through, it makes your path then not necessarily easier, but you know certain things to look out for. And you know what to avoid and what you need to have in place, like for certain.
Right.
So it's just, I guess, a mixture of the two.
Right. And Jomo, as someone in the music industry, how do you go about saying no to things? Because I realize that, like, as someone doing sound engineering to a degree, I have a tendency. So for my profession, I'm an engineer. So someone asked me, what engineers really do? In short, we just solve problems. So when someone comes to me with a request, my first thought is always, how do I figure out how to get this person's idea off the ground? But from being burnt too many times, I'm now, let's start with no. So that's what I've been doing. Is like, nah, you can't get it. How do I get this? You could get it, no? Possibly, maybe. Actually, yes, you could get it. For you, how does that look like for you with, you know, making someone's, a Bayesian artist come to you with an idea? Where do you say yes to some things and say, nah, dog, this is not making no sense?
I guess with the types of opportunities, most of the time, you know, I'm in a situation where, like, I might want me to write some music for some situation. And the biggest challenge is always, you ain't giving me enough time. It's not enough time
It's like,
to do this.
Jomo, I know you're coming back on Sunday. Crop over, starting next month. We outside.
Right? You know?
I need the biggest hit.
You're speaking life to a situation. Right? So, you know, I still tend not to say no too many times. Because the flip side is, hey, look, if you really want this, you know, you want me to put my time into this, you won't need it rush, you could pay me more money. You know, you can do that. And we can figure out an arrangement for that. But I think the no's come more from spaces where there are major things happening, you know? So if it's a large event and they want, hey, you guys are to do this. Have you given me all the tools that I need to do this job? You know, have you provided a space that makes sense for me to do this job? If no, then no. You know, I will tell you, I'll be like, nah, this don't make no sense. Or, you know, if I'm like, I work with a horn section. So we consult with each other and be like, man, usually I'm the first person like, guys, I am feeling this. You know, or I might say, if y'all really want to do this, convince me, you know, that this is a good idea. But yeah, that's really, it's simple for me in that way. But most of my experience has been, I've been burned. So I'm learning how to say no because I've experienced all these bad situations. So I'm like, all right, I feel it in my soul. I feel it in my gut. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But you also went from playing reps into, right? From just doing the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Doing, you know.
Like, all right, cool. Now, and I guess you would naturally want to try different ways of maybe doing the same thing. So that we say the end result might be the same, but the equipment might be a little different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that. The end result is the same, but that is
yeah.
not supposed to look like that. So,
Right.
I'll take a picture of it and insert it. Actually.
We figure out how to make things work, you know? Yeah.
That's basically my job too.
Yeah.
So I do lighting on set. Not shows, but like for commercials and stuff.
Okay.
So, well, I mean, this studio here that we use to record, people come and they book it. But I'm generally the person that's here to help with lighting. And sometimes people will be like, hey, how we can get this to look like this? And sometimes I'm like, put that there, do this. They're like, you sure, boy? And I'm like, yeah. They say, nah, boy, do that. And I'm just like, cool, it's your studio time. All right, cool, do it. It's not looking right. I say, what we want to do? Try this. I say, all right, cool. Try that. I say, not looking right. I say, let me try my others. I ain't gonna say that you try my other. Like, what do you think about this?
Yeah. You guide the suggestion and
What
yeah.
do you think about this? I like how that sounded. What do you think about that? Set it up how I said it before. By the time 20 minutes gone, I annoyed, right? Because I could have been doing something else. Set it up. Yeah, are you looking good enough? All you. I was all your idea. You did a great job. I gone.
Yeah.
But it's just from playing the reps in, right? I mean, I would have not. You get comfortable being in these spaces, and people ask you things it's like, all right, this is what we could do, or even, you know, like if you have bare bones equipment, like to make this thing work, this is what I need. I would like to have this, but if you have at least these things, you get decent products.
Yeah, and then like anticipating, right? So like you saying, you know what this guy want. He's saying what he want, but it's like, he really want this. This is how, you know. So, but you get that from the reps, right? You can anticipate what this person needs, even though they are heads in clothes. Yeah.
So I want to get into the money aspect in terms of. So what we do on the show is people have cool stories and people work in different spheres where they you don't
DJ?
Yeah. So like someone who DJs and is like, okay, I like DJing, but how do I start to make this work for me? And someone being in the music industry and writing, how does it, in your experience, how do you go from, okay, this body of work that I've created, how do I sell this product? Is it that, you know, I start to get to know fellas and then they become my friends and we have working relationships. It's like, dog, this song not right for you. Pass my you know, organize me. How does someone who's up and coming in the music industry go from, I like this as a hobby. I would like to make money from creating music?
Well, I never actually had to tell anybody that before. But you have to build a portfolio.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I have these ideas. I have to record these ideas. Sometimes even that is a challenge because you have to pay to get stuff recorded.
Yeah.
But you find a space where you can get the stuff recorded. You build that portfolio, and then you decide. Like we were talking about getting hotel gigs and getting restaurant gigs, he needs to have a package that is attractive to what those entertainment managers want. You know, once they see that, and then he just has to send a message or make a call, say, hey, this is what I want. In terms of like building a career through is really about relationships. Is about, okay, I start working with Pryje, we start doing some stuff. We've come to Trinidad. We've formed a relationship with Carl from Calypso Blues. We've met some other people, formed those relationships. How do I then turn that into some sort of financial situation? So now I gotta have conversations with them. I strategizing in my head, okay, what's that gonna be like? What does Carl need from me? Maybe Carl needs for me to get myself together in a way where I can say, Carl, I come in to do another show, and the way we're going to do this is going to be a sold out show. Because then once that can happen, Carl will be like, whoa, I need these guys to come back because I want sold out shows. Everybody wants sold out shows at their venues.
He makes money back on like the bar and the food. And,
So like figuring out how to leverage the relationships, figure out how can I get these other people in the different spaces what they want. Singers want hit songs. So my job as a writer is I want to write something that they're going to feel is a hit, and target people that way. The entertainment managers want tourists to be dancing, or whether it's a quiet restaurant, they want that mellow stuff. Figure out how I'm going to get that,
What about you? Now start. He's like, little. Okay, I think that because going to school for it is the economics of the music industry taught, or is it something that only when you're in it that you kind of figure it out?
You can go to school and study music and not learn about the business. That's one side. Some of these schools have great business programs. But for the most part, I think even if you did the business program, there's so much you have to learn on the ground. Because, I was in Boston learning about music in America. Come back to Barbados.
It's not the same.
They ain't doing business that way.
No multi-billion-dollar record label to support.
Exactly.
Anything.
So I had to sort of adapt to an ecosystem that I didn't fully understand. And that took me a while, to figure, oh shoot, I should be doing this or I shouldn't be doing this. So I think no matter what, you're always in that space. Even like, when we come in here, like, okay, what does Calypso Blues expect from me, or what does the sound engineer expect from me in terms of payment? What does the band expect? Like, there's all these things that sometimes you feel like you are floating, in nowhere land. But again, school provides us templates. So, there's some templates like, okay, if you're going to do a show, these are certain things that you should have covered at all times. And that generally helps.
Okay, that's good. Because, I studied like land-based systems in school, but we had a lot of business courses I was like, I come to school for engineering. I don't want to hear. I don't want to do accounts. I do not want to do economics. So I started asking questions of like, why do I have Econ 102? This doesn't make any sense. And it's like, well, we realize y'all engineers don't know how to business at all. So hold that. Hold that. Am I going to use it? We will see. But like when my accountant is talking to me about my expenditure and how terrible I am at with it, it does make sense. It's like, okay, my credits and debits, I see where some things I don't need to do, some things I do need to do. And then even where I had a whole taxation course. It's like, bro, I am not going to...
and paperwork and all kind of thing,
Then taxman is like, hey, you made money. Hey, pay me. And I'll just say like, oh, I can write this off. I paid for school. I can write this off. I can get something back from... So that's why I ask from... If in school they teach anything in that
I mean, but those are optional.
Okay.
Like,
So
you
they
know,
don't have that inserted into the course. It's more like
no,
electives that you select.
I think there was a music business intro, like 101,
Okay.
which was just a general thing, which I think even at Barbados Community College for the associate degree. but for the associate degree, they have a similar course, you know. But generally, what you're learning in those types of courses is, okay, what is a copyright, you know, and you're learning the theory behind what the systems are, not necessarily how to use them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a big, you know, issue.
Yeah.
But where do you fit a more intensive music business
In that
course?
sphere.
You know, like that. I don't think that program has the structure to be able to allow for more.
Right.
You know, maybe it's something that we would be able to do in addition.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's just like where there's no space really to offer those programs.
Yeah.
So we just learn it as we go, and we talk to some of the older musicians, you know, as they go. Sometimes their bad experiences, they're telling us all kind of horror stories, like don't do this, don't do this. But maybe we should be doing it now because times are different. So you know.
Yeah. As you mentioned, copyright. How do you protect your body of work? So like, yes, you wrote for whoever it may be. How do you go about protecting that work? Is it just by contractual agreement where it's like, all right, I've written this song for you, you paid me for it, that is yours. Whatever you want to do with it, I don't care. Or is it that, okay, I've written this body of, how does that look like? I'm not familiar.
Well, yeah, that's an option, which we generally call work for hire, right? So, you know, and I do that with my horn stuff. So if an artist comes to me and he wants horns for his song, just pay me a flat fee, just doing these horns is yours. Goodbye. But like if I'm writing a song and I want an artist on it, I don't want to give that song because that might be a hit song and then I want a piece of that, you know, like so then we, you know, usually when you start in a studio session, this is what you should do all the time. And it doesn't happen all the time, right? A lot of times it doesn't happen because of how relationships develop and what's not. But you should really start with like split sheets, right? What we call split sheets. So basically, you know, if say it's the four of us and we're all writing a song. So 1, 2, 3, 4, Jomo, Jabari, and Pryje, right? We're each gonna get 25%. You know,
Drake talk about that. Show me the splits.
I picked the one you were saying.
I did not.
Right, so the splits are important, but there are different types of splits, right? Because you can earn money from publishing, you can earn money from, you know, writing the song, you can earn money from performing on the recording of the song. So all those are like different splits which you negotiate, and you should negotiate those things as early as possible in making. And that's how that works. Pretty much, it's either work for hire or some type of rights negotiation.
And in terms of like music, how do, besides obviously performing, like how men eating? I don't know.
Are there?
Really, I don't know.
I was giving a friend an example of a musician I know who works in the States. He's not a popular musician by any stretch of the imagination, but he's making a lot of money because he understands how the gigging circuit works in the areas that he operates. The gigging is what we call it. Right? He understands how that circuit works and he has all the right connections. You know, so he's a country music player. He's playing guitar and singing. He's making loads and loads of money. And people don't need to know who he is. He just needs to play in these bars where the owners of the bars know him and they're happy with him.
Like,
and all year round.
Come hour in and out.
You can get placements too. Like in TV shows.
And
stuff like that.
Oh yeah, because like they might be filming in like a bar scene and they might like need somebody to just be there.
Always need music.
So licensing, you know, you write the song, I license this, you know, see if I can get a placement.
Probably them tracks would be nice.
Right?
I spoke to a friend locally and I was like, said, okay, nice. Great for you. You're gonna give me like 50%.
But it's a challenge with those placements because you gotta write a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
You put them all out, and it's like, okay,
I just hope some
the
right place has
databases
it.
you can log them in
Yeah.
and hope that somebody picks it up. Or you happen to know somebody that's working on a movie, and it just so happens that they want a song, or we
song that time.
yeah. But for us, mostly our income is through performing.
Right.
And for me, through recording, a lot of this work for hire stuff. And then the royalties that you get from some of those projects as well. That's pretty much it in the Caribbean, at least.
Right.
Because licensing is kind of far away from us. We don't have as many movies being made, Yeah.
And just to
one more thing.
Yeah.
Which is we dealing with is grants, grant funding and project funding. I think those are things that are more important for writers, and for creatives who are not necessarily in the mainstream space. There's grants all over the world that especially probably want Caribbean musicians to try something in Germany or in Canada or something.
I see like in Europe, I see Caribbean music being explored a lot. Just to start wrapping up, how do you all go about like protecting in terms of like you being able to perform? Because obviously if you're not performing, you're not earning. How do you go about, because like Marshall has shown in his like documentary where he's like,
You saw it?
yeah,
Wow.
I gotta watch it.
Very patriotic.
Patriot.
I didn't watch it as well.
no, like, but he highlighted that he's like shotting like ginger and orange juice mixed with cinnamon and whatever it is.
I remember
and he's like,
hearing about that. Yeah.
This is Disney thing, like before I go on stage, I am drinking this thing. He have
All
like
Trinities are Marshall, by the way. Like it's just it's a one. Yeah, you just get a voice.
But he has like a guy that is basically at every show. He follows him to every show, mixing these concoctions for him to take. He goes and sings on the place, comes back on the stage, can't speak. Next show, in the next hour, drinking it again, and then back on stage. Like, what is that? What does that look like for y'all?
You want to say something about it?
Me? I ain't got one of them, though. Right now, I hear fighting sleep, bro. That's how it is for me.
Well, I think that's a good example. There are a lot of us that don't really have
Rest.
a system or rest or routine, like, meditation, the basics that everybody hopefully should have in their life at some point, is, you journal, you meditate, you exercise, you eat some fruit, and those kinds of things. But the career that I've been building for myself, there's some things that I've really suffered in terms of I ain't got no time to cook no food. Right. So especially crop over time. I might start working on a song. Say I get the guys to start working 10 o'clock in the morning, 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I have my good breakfast for sure. Then we finish writing and recording at maybe 2:30, right? Then depending on how big the project is, and how much time we have, I may be like, all right, well, I don't have time for lunch. So I can just continue to sit here at the studio and I can do all the editing.
Right.
And a lot of times that editing will take me into like 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And then I shoot, I didn't eat nothing. Don't want to eat too late, because you could give yourself some stomach issues, I get a little old, I gotta be careful, right? But also then, like as a result of that, you're running low on energy. So coffee or something else, like bad habits start to join the equation. And that's where like you gotta be real careful. So managing your schedule well, like knowing, okay, there's only so much I could do, like Pryje was ready to go to sleep before we came here, I was like, Pryje, come, let me go. But it's just, this type of industry causes you to make those types of sacrifices,
you try to compromise on something.
Compensate, you compromise, When the soca season started for crop over, which would have been like end of April, May, when people start asking for stuff to be done, my gym subscription,
Pause.
ended, and I never signed back up because I don't have the energy, I don't have the time, and that's yeah. So we survive. I have a doctor's visit that I do before the soccer season.
Yeah.
Right, and one that I do right after the soccer season, and be like, "Are you good? You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good, or no, you're not good. We need to work on, and yeah.
When you said you have no kind of system in place.
I can't use that word. Just taking it at the other time.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
You whispered this right here, so that people battle, bro.
Yeah, out yourself. Yeah, out yourself.
You gotta edit that out. But yeah.
We let our editor know.
Like, the thing is, before I left to go to the UK, I used to do all my practice at the beach.
Okay.
So my routine was to wake up each morning, probably about 6 o'clock, and I would get down there, just take a little time. I would walk and get to the far end of the beach, get down there, just relax myself a little bit, and then I start my day with long tones, which is just playing one note on your horn, like ba, and trying to keep it as steady as possible,
Right.
which in itself can be meditative.
Right.
Looking back on it, maybe that's something that I have missed and never really put 2 and 2 together, because at that point I was practicing like 6 hours a day, like 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And that's when I really started to feel it, that connection to the horn. So I guess that is my way of kind of recentering myself, because every time like things in life feel like scattered or hectic, like when I check out my horn and I play it, I can't really be thinking about other stuff, otherwise I can really play the horn. So, food for thought. I never really thought about it before. But maybe I need to pick up like a good habit. Like,
At least one.
At least one, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should pay attention to my bedtime.
Oh.
Yeah, my phone just vibrated. It's
Yours
midnight,
gone too?
midnight in bedtime.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but at least the phone is telling me.
It's true.
No, that's good.
That's it.
You definitely paid attention to it.
So, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having
We'll
us.
Thanks
most
for having
definitely
us.
link your stuff in the description. Y'all are welcome back anytime y'all are back in Trinidad. Oh, if we're in Barbados.
It sounds like you need
We
to
will
come with us.
organize some coaches just like this.
It's true.
Next thing. This year is expensive already.